Hello, my name is Angus Patey, and in this video tutorial we're going to be discussing how can you assess the calibration of your monitor and the ICC profile that's been created as a result of that. So now you've gone through and you've done your monitor calibration, you've done your ICC profile, you've loaded, and you're ready to go to work. So before you do that, I'd like to show you a couple of tricks and methods in which to evaluate that process. So let's go to Photoshop and let's create a new document. This new document is going to be used as a linear blend, and I'm just going to create a new document. We'll call it blend. It's say 5 inches wide by 3 inches high, 300 pixels per inch, and it's RGB. Okay, so let's create that new document. Now we're going to go to our gradient tool in the tool palette, and we're going to hold down the shift key and we'll just click and drag across the image and let go. Okay, once we've done that, now we have a black and white linear blend across our image. Now for me, evaluating color, the first place to start, believe it or not, is with gray. Now if gray can't be reproduced, then you're going to have trouble in other areas. The nice thing about evaluating gray is that it's easy for us to decipher and see if there's an issue. Now there's a number of things that we can see if there's a problem with this image. The first thing we're going to see is, are there any discolorations in the blend? Is it going outside of neutral? Is it a little bit green? Is it a little bit yellow? Is it a little bit red in particular areas of this linear blend? If it's perfectly neutral, then it passes and you can go on to the next step. The next area that I see problems with some of the calibration software is in the shadow area. In this region here, on the left side of my screen, where the transitions go from dark to very dark to black, I see a number of programs which do very abrupt transitions in this area. So you want to make sure that it's nice and smooth in that region. The last thing you want to look at is, are there any major bandings going on up and down on your image? If there are, then that's probably a result that you're using a fairly low-end monitor and that you may want to upgrade to a newer monitor that has a 14-bit, 12-bit or a 14-bit gamma within the video card, because that's going to help significantly in showing the blends to be a lot smoother. Okay, so this again is a great image just for evaluating the calibration after you've done it. We want to look at the shadows, make sure they're nice and smooth. We want to look at the overall blend of the image. Is it neutral from left to right? And is there any significant banding within the image? Okay, so that's using what I call sort of just a basic blend tool, blend the gradient tool to create a blend. The next thing we're going to look at is an image that I have, which is called Checker Rgb. Now this image has been created to help evaluate a number of different aspects of color calibration, but there's a few neat things that we can do here that I want to share with you. One is on this left-hand corner at the bottom, there are a series of squares. Now these are RGB values starting out from a 4, 9, 16, 19, and on. What those mean is that in numerical values of percentage, that's a 99, a 98, a 97, a 96, and so on. So what we have here is inside this 4 is a square. Let me get the right tool going here. Inside this square we have a 99% value. Okay, so we've got a 99 surrounded by a 100, and then again up in here we've got a 98 and then a 97. The goal here is that in a good calibration and a good, not too much ambient light in your viewing environment, you should be able to see a slight difference between that 99 and the 100 border. If you can't see it, and you still can't see it in the 98 and 97, then you've got a problem. You won't have accurate reproduction of your images. Certain images like this one over here with her hair, you'll start to see it filling in and you won't have the proper detail that's truly in the image and potentially could be recreated, and again you'll be overcorrecting your images. So that's one thing, is to be able to see the variation of how black against solid black against the 99 can be recreated. The next thing, and this is kind of cool, is if you're using a laptop, and a lot of us know that laptops, as you tilt the screen forward and back, will change in their tonal value. So it's really hard to know what is the optimum angle to move your screen forward and back. So what I do with this image is I just hold my monitor and I tilt it back and forth a little bit, and there's a point where I can just start to see that 4, that 99% square come into play, and that's the optimum angle for viewing your images. So that's a neat little trick to sort of figure out how to tilt your screen and know where it is, and then it'll just give you an idea as to where that will be, and just try to remember that. Okay, so that's what we're going to that's how we use this image. And again, this image is a great RGB image to send out to your suppliers for print. If you're getting stuff done at a photo lab, send them this image, have them print it, and bring it back. When you get it back, look at how their shadow detail is being reproduced. Can you see the 99 against the 100 and the 98 and 97? In a perfect world, you should be able to see that. Is the bottom blend, the stepped grayscale, is it reproduced neutral? Again, gray is very important, and we want to make sure that on all our reproduction that gray is reproduced faithfully. In this image, which is difficult to reproduce by some, is do we have good shadow detail, good transitions in the cheek, are we getting any flaring or any discoloration in there? So lots of areas in which you can look at this image. We've got a high key and low key images and lots of stuff on there. So that's using our color reference target, which again is available on our website at colormanagement.ca if you go to the resources section. So let's close that, and let's close that. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the differences in monitors, how different LCD screens will reproduce images. Now there's a bit of a misconception that what you see on screen is easily going to be reproduced on a CMYK printing press. Now I know maybe not all of you are going to a printing press in a CMYK world, but for those of you that are, you may find this very interesting. What I have here are 3 different gamuts, being represented through this program. The outside one is a LaCie 524, which is a high-bit monitor, and this particular monitor has the capability of reproducing 97% of the Adobe gamut. The inside red is an Apple Cinema display, which has the capability of reproducing about 80% of the Adobe gamut. Not too bad, you wouldn't think. And the inside green one is a CMYK press. Now as I move through the tone scale, going from lighter to darker, you'll start to see that the green is starting to extend out. And in this point here, which is really interesting, the CMYK colors have exceeded that of the Apple Cinema display. You can see that certain greens and purples in areas of the image, and as we move on a little bit more, you'll see that some of the magentas in those regions are being clipped on a Apple Cinema display, and a lot of the low-end mid-range monitors will reproduce this way. So what this telling us is that there are colors within your image that you're not seeing that you would see on a high-end monitor. So again, I think it's just important to get as faithful a reproduction as possible, and that may mean, if you're looking for the ultimate in color, to make sure that you've got a 12 or a 14-bit monitor, and you also have a monitor that can faithfully reproduce the full CMYK color space. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. Hope that was helpful in your quest to see your images more accurately. Thank you very much.